We got the gravel in up there. The next thing to do is to move these fuel tanks because the shed's gonna come this way a little bit and we're gonna completely redo the fuel area. So we've got to get those out of the way. The plan is to hopefully get them over on the actual bin pad over there to use for this fall. So they're totally out of the way of everything we're doing over here. Luckily, we had a bin go down, so we got a nice pad to put fuel tanks on. We got about 300 gallons of red diesel left in that tank, so I'm gonna pull Thunder over here. We're gonna pump what's left into this tank. I hate tearing trees out, but we've got to pull a few out back here, unfortunately, because the building's gonna go halfway through that line. So it is what it is. Big ugly cottonwoods, I don't mind those disappearing nearly as much. That was very gentle and underwhelming. It looks like a solid steel case that goes around and bolts together on this side. A little more weight on that end than I expected.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, it's pretty teetery.
Oh, pretty light?
I don't know if it's pretty light. I'm not holding any weight, I'm just balancing it.
Think that'll be okay?
We'll find out if the pallet's any good. I'd maybe come forward 8 inches. Get it centered on the pallet more.
Can't see what I'm doing.
You're okay, pull back. Time for a little bit of site prep. Lunch break for everybody. Well, it's been almost 2 more hours now, and I kind of stayed out of these guys' way because you could tell they were trying to figure out what to do. That tank's a little heavier than what they thought it was going to be. So getting it from this end of the yard all the way over to this end of the yard where we want it was a little too much for them. So they pulled it out of the way right now. They got the big tank out of the way, the smaller tanks down there. And now they're just gonna work on really leveling things out, getting the pads for the new shed, maybe take some more trees down. A lot's changed here in the last hour, but I didn't actually get to see what they were doing. They got the tank out of the way for them. And in the meantime, we talked to the people up in Devil's Lake, North Dakota that have the new 12,000, or the used, new to us, 12,000 gallon LP tank that's coming here. And we talked to the trucking company, we got it lined up, so it sounds like end of the week the trucking company is going to pick it up, and on Monday that's hopefully going to be put into place. So we got a lot that's going to happen here over just the next few days. While we let those guys work, we've got a hose here that has some holes in it, so we're going to get rid of the holy part and put the end back on the end that doesn't have the holes in the sides. It's just got holes in the ends. Made sense, right? Garbage in.
Yep. Let's get you in closer and see what we can do with it. Yeah, I think.
Now it's on to ourselves. We're getting there. We had a flathead to pry it apart with.
Right here?
Close.
It's cut. I'll cut.
That went easier than I expected.
This, yeah.
You think put some penetrating oil on it?
I suppose you could on the... You want to take this with the gloves, or what do you think?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay. Whenever you're ready, my feet are holding it up. Like a little bit. Let's see, let's put this against, let's put it against the bench. There. It's pretty simple.
All that worrying for nothing.
Yeah. It went really simple. It's still pretty hot.
Yeah.
That's the only way to do it, isn't it?
That fell right on there.
Yeah.
That wasn't very exciting. Let's see what's happening out here. 3 machines moving, plus the dozer sitting there.
We could really throw a bonfire down there.
And we will. He said we could throw a bonfire down there on that pile of lumber there. It's gonna need to dry out for a while first. There's one of the old concrete pads. Sounds like we will have some concrete on the north end in the back of the shop to put some pallet racking. But overall, the rest of the shed's all gonna be cold storage, gravel floor like before, but it will be quite a bit bigger. So this is gonna be a 72 by 180, pretty long. They've got the trees down in the back there. It's gonna go quite a ways back there, just about to the edge of the field. We're gonna have a 60-foot power lift hydraulic door on the south end here that'll swing open. They're working on the door for us. And then on the north end here, towards the north end, the northeast corner, we're gonna have another door on the side. So it's not gonna have a door open to the north, but just a sliding door to the side so that we can bring the trucks down here. This is all gonna be not landscaped, but kind of leveled off differently and done a little nicer, finished off. And we're gonna be able to bring the semi trucks in here and go in the side door, because it'll be 72 feet wide, which is the same width as the main shop here. So we know that our trucks fit in there. You can get the trucks in there and get the hoods open and still, you can walk around them. Not comfortably, it gets tight, but we didn't want to go any wider than we had to with this building because it really eats into this corner here that we got to drive through an awful lot of the time. So we don't want to get that any tighter. We didn't want to get any tighter to the other shed on that end. So we're a little limited on space. We went longer instead of wider. That's cheaper to do anyway when you're looking for square footage. So this was all trees this morning. They've torn all that out, and there they are. So they relocated those trees. I don't think they're gonna be okay. Overall, really, we were at a point with the farm where we had talked about putting another shed in. So this was a 60 by 120 before. We had talked about putting in another 60 by 120 just to have the space to get stuff under a roof so it's not sitting out in the sun and the snow and whatever. This is not how we wanted to do it, but now with the square footage we're gonna gain by going a lot bigger with this building, we're not gonna need more storage space, hopefully, for quite some time. Our auger's got a kink in it now. That one actually had a bearing out, flat tire, and it was clogged, tight full of soybeans. It got put to the side 12, 13 years ago because we were going to come back, get the soybeans out and fix the bearing. But it stayed right there. And then I never told Dad, but I hit the one end with the flail mower last summer when I was cutting a trail for the kids. Chewed up the wheel and tire on the other side, which it's scrap steel now anyway. Didn't hurt the mower. Sure made a nasty sound and got my attention. They spent 2 days with 2 trucks bringing a ton of gravel in here. It seemed like they brought 300 or 400 loads. It was nowhere near that, but it seemed like it. But now after just a couple hours of digging around, they've got like 3/4 of it used up already. And I know there's gonna have to be a bunch more coming, so we're bringing a lot of gravel in. This is a big project already. But it's gonna be nice. These boys have got 1 excavator loaded up. Got the dozer going to town here, payloader's sitting back there. They're gonna need more gravel. But it's almost 6 o'clock, so I'm guessing they're about done for the day. And I'm gonna do the same. Actually, good old Rob Sharkey's in town, so the master pipe layer and I are gonna take him for dinner, bring Becky with. I don't know if his wife's with or not, if Mrs. Shark Farmer's with, but we're gonna do that. So, in the meantime, things are moving fast. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you later.